Hi everyone, so today we have a 2018 governor map with the Democrats having 7 seats and the Republicans who have 7 seats not up for re-election. So there are 36 contested seats, and right now the majority of those are held by Republicans. So Democrats do have some options for pickups, picking up some Republican held seats. So right now, there's 16 Democrats, 33 Republicans, and 1 independent there in the state of Alaska. If we go to the 29 governors, it's definite that these will be the governors in the respective political parties. So, in the generic ballot polling, Democrats again are up 6.5 percentage points. And in the Trump approval rating, again, Democrats up there as well by double digits there in there. So starting off with the safe states, if we go into these safe states, Oregon I will leave as a toss-up. Hawaii, David E. Gay. Hawaii's primaries were on the other day. So anyway, taking a look at New Mexico, we'll come back to the state of New Mexico, but over in the state of Minnesota, again, probably going to go to these incumbent Democrats. Very unlikely that these incumbent Democrats are going to lose. In Colorado, I'll come back to the state of Colorado, but Massachusetts with Charlie Baker, that would be a safe Republican seat. New York would go to Andrew Cuomo, or if Andrew Cuomo somehow loses his primary, it would go to the opposition there. So in Maine, I'll come back to the state of Maine, but Pennsylvania and Michigan, actually, I will come back to these are pretty much your the safe Democratic states. So we have 12 Democrats, and now for some of the Republican states: Idaho, Wyoming, South Dakota, Nebraska with Pete Ricketts there, Kansas, Oklahoma I will come back to, but Texas is safe for the Republicans. Arkansas, Alabama, South Carolina, Tennessee, Massachusetts, Vermont, New Hampshire, and that's pretty much it. So the rest of these states would be likely leaning or tilt or a pure toss-up. So let's start off with Alaska. So Alaska is pretty much going to go to the Republicans. I would make it leaning towards going to the Republicans, just because Alaska, it has that real Republican identity there in the state of Alaska. Also leaning towards the Republicans. Georgia, Stacey Abrams gonna have an uphill climb winning her winning election there. But there, Brian Kemp, you know who I mean, is probably going to win there in the state of Georgia. Another leaning Republican state. Maryland, Larry Hogan, again, popular Republican incumbent. I understand Ben Jealous does have a much better chance at winning than Rashawn Baker, the progressive side there. Much more energized in Maryland as they were back in 2016. Much more than they were back in 2016. But a likely Republican state, the state of Oklahoma. I mean, Mary Fallon, if Mary Fallon was running for re-election, she would very likely lose there in Oklahoma because of her very negative approval rating there in Oklahoma. So now for some of the Democratic states. So likely Democratic state, Oregon, likely to go to the Democrats. Same thing with Colorado and New Mexico. New Mexico has a retiring Republican incumbent, and given that Hillary Clinton very overwhelmingly won in New Mexico, I definitely would classify New Mexico likely to flip sides there. Colorado, again, the Democrats are very likely to hold on. And in Oregon, Kate Brown did lose by 1% in one opinion poll, but it was a Republican poll. And also it had mapped the states so that it was more in Republican areas than Democratic areas. And Kate Brown was still only losing by 1 point. So definitely Oregon going to stick with a Democratic governor there in Oregon. So Arizona, that's going to be very, sorry about that. Pennsylvania is safe. But Arizona is going to be very contested. Now, Doug Ducey is running for the election for the Arizona governor, but David Garcia definitely has a shot. However, Arizona still went to Donald Trump, and with Doug Ducey, I would narrowly put that one in the Republican column. There, but some more Democratic states, Michigan, I would classify going to the Democrats, and Illinois would go to the Democrats there. But now for some states in the Northeast. So this is traditionally Democratic area, and for that reason, I believe that all three of these states, Rhode Island, Connecticut, and Maine, will go to the Democrats by varying margins. So Connecticut has Ned Lamont. He was ahead by 10% in the only opinion poll that was taken. So I would definitely put that one is likely to go to the Democrats there. In Rhode Island, Gina Raimondo, unpopular for a Democrat in Rhode Island, but I still see that one ending up in her column there in Rhode Island. So going up to Maine, so, the Democrat there definitely probably going to win there in the state of Maine. So Nevada, Iowa, Wisconsin, Ohio, and Florida all have Republican incumbents. So it should be okay for them to win their election, right? Wrong, because of these were swing states in the 2016 election. Other than Iowa and Ohio, all of these swing states were either won by Hillary Clinton or they were very close to winning or they were very close to a Clinton win there. So Ohio has retiring Republican incumbent John Kasich, who's very popular. However, I see this one as leaning towards the Democrats. Mike DeWine, not necessarily the best candidate. I believe the Republicans, if they could have, but obviously they can't rerun John Kasich. But Wisconsin, I'm calling this one for the Democrats. Now, Scott Walker is obviously a Republican incumbent in Wisconsin. Now, Donald Trump was the first Republican in generations to win in the state of Wisconsin. This is a state that voted for, I believe, Mike Dukakis over George H.W. Bush in his blowout election in that year. So, very Democratic state, except for when Trump won. For that reason, I'm saying Tony Evers will win. He was ahead in opinion polling by double digits there in a non-partisan poll from the state of Wisconsin. So that's why I'm calling it for the Democrats. Same thing down in the state of Florida there in Florida. So I definitely see that one retaining with it's turning the tides away from the Republican Party there in Florida. Gwen Graham definitely has a much better shot at winning there in the state of Florida. But the final two states to call, Iowa, I definitely see going to the Republicans because of that Republican identity. The Republican, they're definitely able to capitalize on some of Trump's voting base, the rural vote there in the state of Iowa. But then down in the state of Nevada, that's really a pure toss-up. But I will narrowly give the tilt over to Steve Sisolak. So there you see 26 Republicans, 24 Democrats. That is the NGA map. So in the next time, in 2020, the governorships that will be up is Washington, Utah, Montana, North Dakota, Missouri, Louisiana, Mississippi, Indiana, Kentucky, West Virginia, Virginia, North Carolina, Delaware, New Jersey, as well as Vermont and New Hampshire, which have 2-term elections there in Vermont and New Hampshire. So those states will be up in 2020 on the presidential ballot, and we'll see if Democrats do have a hopeful shot at winning the governor map in 2020. It's always been an uphill climb for Democrats to win the NGA, but we shall see there. So again, final governor map, 26 Republicans, 24 Democrats. You see the difference there, and they're much more blue, just a bit more red in other states like Alaska. But other than that, all the states have Republican gains. All the states have Democratic gains. No one state has a Republican gain other than the state of Alaska, and that really isn't from a Democrat to a Republican. It's from an independent to a Republican. So thank you guys for watching this video. Comment down suggestions below, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.